On the 10th of January 2004, at about 6:30 in the morning, there was a knock at the door. There was two police officers. I opened the door. They asked me if my name was Kim Hamilton. I said yes. Are you the mother of Carl Hamilton? No, sorry. Do I need to start again? On the 10th of January 2004, around 6:30 in the morning, the police knocked my door. Whereupon I answered the door. They asked me if my name was Kim Hamilton. I said yes. They said there'd been an incident. So right away, I said, is it my mum? Take me there. My babies are there. My mum being an older woman, I thought maybe she'd fallen ill or something. And I told them my babies are there. Even though they were 17 and 19 years of age, they're still your babies. So then I said to them, have you been to my mum's? They said yes. Because they'd already said, they told me they were 95% certain about it being my son being involved in this incident. From when they said to me they'd been to my mum's, I said to them, well, I'm 100% certain if you've been to my mum's and my son hasn't been home, I'm 100%. He would never stay out all night long. Whereupon I went in a kind of daze and I was looking like mad. Normally you could find photos. But in this instance, I don't know what happened. Can't even explain my feelings. I could only find a passport photo and handed it to the police. Then they drove me and my daughters to my mum's. So I wasn't allowed to identify my son's body for 3 days. I had to lie because of Kirsty being ill. She was 9. She had brittle asthma and used to be sick every few weeks, needing to go on life support machine to keep her alive and for her body to rest because of her asthma. So for 3 days I was there lying to my girls, telling them Carl was very poorly and that he was on life support like Kirsty when she's poorly with her asthma and the doctors doing their best to help their brother. It was a lie, but what do you tell a 9, 11-year-old? You're hoping it's not going to be true that your son's gone. Anyway, Christina, who was 11 at the time, she said to me, Mummy, when Kirsty's in the hospital on the life support, I'm allowed to go and see her. Why can't I go and see Carl? Then I had to tell her, which was another lie, because obviously Carl wasn't in intensive care, but to say children are allowed on the adult section of intensive care. After 3 days, I was driven to Popular Coroner's Court with my liaison officer and one of Carl's girlfriends, Sarah. Upon arriving and getting out the car at the Coroner's Court, as I stepped out the car and I went to close the car door, I turned back and I looked at Sarah and I said to Sarah, you know what, Sarah, we're going to go in there. And I kind of smiled and had a laugh at the time, I remember now. We're going to go in there, it's not going to be him. And then the next thought, within less than a second, it was, but then if that's not him, 3 days Carl's been missing. Do I want him missing? Or do I want it to be him in the coroner's court? I couldn't even answer my own question. How can you? I went into the coroner's court. They took us in a room. The curtain only opened to fracture. The first part I saw of him before they even fully pulled the curtain was his forehead and his eyes and his nose. As far as the curtains went, and instantly I knew it was my boy. My legs gave way. And the curtains, I managed to see when the curtains opened fully. I couldn't get to him. It was through a glass mirror. Then the liaison officer took me back to my mum's. Whereupon, now I have to go to three daughters, 9, 11 and 19, and explain to his 3 sisters, remembering that the youngest one, Kirsty, suffered with brittle asthma, so a little bit of excitement, much less stress, could bring on an attack and she'd be on life support. And I'd already lied to try and avoid this happening. But now I'm in a position, I have to compose myself in this car to try my best in the best way possible and try. It was so hard. in a soft way to explain to such young children. Their brother's gone. He's dead. He's never coming home. The only way I could explain it was to say that, yes, he'd been stabbed 9 times. And I told them, and I carried the lie on slightly too, because I made them think, they're young children, you don't want them to know you couldn't go and see it was their brother for 3 days. So you made them think at the same time, well, that was a lie. That yes, he was on the life support and the doctors were doing what they could, but that wasn't, it was still yet another lie to protect my girls. So through that I explained it in the best way I can, that although he's gone, he'll never be forgotten, we'll always love him, and the fact that he's gone to heaven, what else can you say to the children, even though their brother's gone in such a horrid way? Then they're asking why. Children are inquisitive, and they said if he's gone to heaven, obviously when they knew with the funeral we'd be putting the coffin in the ground. So the only way I could explain it, I don't know if I did it right, was that wasn't Carl. It's like a tin of beans you open and the beans come out and it's an empty can. That wasn't Carl. He'd gone to heaven. That was his shell there for us, and that the grave was there for a garden for us to always remember him. That's the hardest job I've ever had to do, and I never want to do that again.